IRs are meant to work on the technology transfer where the nexus hits government on the front end of the venture capitalist dilemma of beginning to profit on clean tech. We also have to pay careful attention of what's going on the other bookend, on the back end. What do you do when you actually have the technology and need a pathway for market penetration and need to scale it? As I said, the IPO is not the end game. The larger picture is the end game. How do we achieve these global and national aspirations without scaling? It's not enough when a presidential candidate or when a politician tells you they like these technologies. They see the jobs. It's not enough to say disruptive technology is good and essential. We all know that. What we need is disruptive thinking and organizational and institutional means and mechanisms to scale these technologies. That is what is so important as you begin to weigh in to the national discussion. Government has to cultivate the conditions for these technologies to thrive at unprecedented rates. And so we need disruptive policy, and we need disruptive administrative and management practices that begin to overcome the inherent incrementalism and the erratic execution of our bureaucracy, which was built and postured for a Cold War and not for the challenges of the 21st century. Traditional federal agencies simply lacks the flexibility and skill sets to effectively manage complex financial transactions with the risk profiles of clean tech and renewables. Rapid commercialization of clean energy technologies requires sophisticated capital management, which is largely unavailable by design in the federal workforce. We have to mitigate the risk facing investors in mass procurement of clean tech, in production and distribution of clean energy to increase the amount and rate of private capital deployed in a time frame that's consequential. As the climate change debate heats up into the halls of Congress largely on dated themes, you all need to be involved because we're beyond bumper stickers. It's time to look under the hood and understand the best thought-through bipartisan pieces of legislation and legislative proposals that will have the most poignant, simple, direct, and immediate impacts on your technology or your company's performance, your profitability, your bottom line, and your return horizons. There's a lot out there right now. If you aren't familiar with Title 17 of the Energy Policy Act that gave authority to the federal government for loan guarantees that could fund up to 80% of commercialization of any project, any technology, any manufacturing facility, any widget that avoids, sequesters, or reduces greenhouse gas emissions, fundamentally everything you work on in this room, 80%. If you're not familiar with those provisions, you need to be. This is the community that has to access and avail those funds. What funds? Oh, it's not just in statute. The appropriations have been made in law, and it's not a trivial amount. $38.5 billion has been set aside for the next 24 months for any technology that avoids, sequesters, and reduces greenhouse gas emissions. And ladies and gentlemen, it's collecting dust. Your money appropriated in statute for your projects, you have got to weigh in on the appropriate organizational and institutional means of delivering that money more easily to the marketplace to diffuse these technologies at scale. Let me give an example. The Department of Energy, Nuclear Weapons Stewardship for the United States of America, environmental cleanup, linear accelerators, super colliders, artificial retinas, everything we do, $25 billion. And yet we've got a bank account untapped of $38.5 waiting for you all to claim it if the federal government can devise the right means to deliver it. You all need to weigh in.